Welcome to the Entrepreneur Entourage podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Hildreth, here with co-host Tanner Fox. And today we're going to talk about everything entrepreneurship. I guess we'll jump into how we got started. Tanner is a 7-figure entrepreneur. He grew an Amazon business from 0 to 7 figures within about 1 year. And for me, I've created multiple marketing businesses, 6-figure marketing businesses. We're both college dropouts, so we took the we took the opposite route of what modern society does. But we just kind of want to jump into that. Tanner, kind of introduce yourself and talk a little bit about how you came about this.
Yeah, so about 2 years ago, I was looking for things online, ways to make money, and I was having trouble finding things I didn't know what would work. Because like most people starting entrepreneurship, I was looking at what new idea or new business could I make that doesn't exist? And I was looking at that, which was the wrong thinking. I should have been, what's working and how can I replicate that and put my own little spin on it? I always say that in my YouTube videos. But I found selling on Amazon about 2 years ago, and I started learning it on YouTube. I bought a course, did that, started doing it, failed for 6 months straight, didn't make any money, didn't really lose money, but learned what I was doing wrong, started making adjustments, and just grew it from there. And then started other income streams after I learned how to do that, because once you know how to teach yourself something, you can teach yourself anything and apply it. And that's what I did with affiliate marketing, YouTube, and then now I'm here.
Exactly. And you're 22 years old now. You started how old were you when you started all of this?
20 and a half.
You were 20 and a half, so you were in college and taking a full load of classes, I'm guessing, business, right? You were studying business.
5 classes.
We actually met at community college, Irvine Valley College, but you were taking a full load of classes and then just kind of building this on the side, right?
Yep. I was learning probably 4 or 5 hours a day for the first month. And then after that, it's a little work, probably 2 or 3 hours a day. And then once you get up and actually going, it's like an hour a month.
Okay.
With Amazon.
And you took some courses, right? On
yeah, I took one online for Amazon, and then with affiliate marketing, I just taught myself through YouTube. So
wow, so that's crazy that Tanner was able to scale. Kind of a side hobby at first. Just wanted to make a little extra income. I remember when we had class together, and I was trading options at the time. I was working at an investment bank, and Tanner was making an extra $200 to $300 from Amazon selling, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. Extra $200 to $300 a month. That's groceries.
I remember coming in and showing you after a while. I was stoked because I hit 3,000 revenue in 1 month.
Yeah,
which was like 1,000 profit, but that was like my biggest month. I was like, oh my god, 3,000, that's sick.
Yeah, it was crazy, and I tell this story often because it was so amazing to see Tanner's transformation. We kind of stopped talking for a little bit because I met my fiance, or my girlfriend at the time, and she was in North Carolina, so I was traveling and Tanner was doing his thing, and I called him up. I was like, man, I should call up Tanner. I haven't talked to him in a while, and called him up. We met up at Chipotle, and and he pulls up in his Z06 Corvette, and this was his dream car. When I first talked to him, when I first met him, he was like, yeah, this is my end of the year goal to get a Z06, and I was like, man, that's an amazing goal. It's a $100,000 vehicle, and he pulls up in it, and I was just like, wow, wow, he made it happen. So, kind of give the viewers a little background of what Amazon selling, what private labeling is, because I'm sure there's a lot of people who maybe think that selling Amazon products is kind of like eBay. You just
Yeah, a lot of people mistake it with drop shipping, which you can do on Amazon, but what I do is called private labeling. So it's pretty much slapping your brand or your company name or logo on a product and selling it on Amazon. Now, you do have to hold inventory with this, but Amazon holds it all for you. So the whole process is really doing your research in the market, finding what's selling well with low competition, and then sourcing it in China through a website called Alibaba, or you can use other alternatives. And then you just create a listing, know how to sell it, send all your inventory to Amazon. Amazon then ships any orders and handles everything for you from there. And you just do the marketing for the products to get it sales and try and get it ranked. So the whole goal is to rank for different keywords. Higher you rank, obviously, the more organic sales you get. But after that, it's very passive because every time I get a sale, I could be sitting here. If I get a sale, Amazon does everything. I don't have to do anything after that except keep the inventory in there and adjust whatever marketing I'm doing.
Okay, so when I first met you, how many products did you have at the time? And then when I met up with you again, when you had your Z06, how many products did you have then?
I had one when we first started talking where I was making a couple $100s a month, and then that one ended up being patented. So then I had 0 and switched to another, and that's when it started taking off. And then when we met again, I had one and was working on a second, and then I have 5 now.
Mm-hmm. So wow. So Tanner went from having, you said one was kind of unsuccessful. You had a couple that maybe had a little trouble.
3 so first one was way too competitive.
Okay.
Second one, there was no demand. Third one was patented, but sold decently. I was making like $35 a day, so
yeah,
over $1,000 a month. And then fourth one was the real good one when I started learning what to do and what tools I need.
So you went from making 300 when I first met you to like what, 20, 30,000 a month?
Yeah, at one point with that product at its peak, I was making, I think I made 22,000 from that one, but normally now it's about 10 a month from that one.
Wow, that's crazy. The growth with Amazon was crazy because I remember coming over to his house and he was kind of showing me the ropes of how he finds products, and it's such a different market, but it's the same principles apply. Like when I look for stocks, I'm looking at supply and demand basically, and you're looking at what's trading at optimal prices so that you can kind of get in there and capitalize on that. So I thought it was interesting. I never really got into Amazon because I was, so I'll give you a background of myself. I was working at an investment bank while going to college, and I was starting to trade options, and I was making a pretty good monthly income, anywhere from like $2,000 to $4,000 a month from trading options. And I thought I had it set. I was like, okay, I'm gonna start teaching people this and just really scale this business up. But then I got into social media marketing. I started exploring different types of businesses because I knew that trading alone wasn't enough. So I knew I couldn't rely on one source of income. So that's how I got into social media marketing. Took a course, scaled my agency up to 6 figures in 4 months, and I really started diving into different avenues of income, affiliate marketing, scaled up my YouTube channel. But it all goes back to releasing my first course. So Tanner gave me a book called Launch by Jeff Walker, which was a book on releasing a product or kind of hyping up a product and then launching it. And I was so excited to apply those principles. So that's what I did for my stock market mastery course. I wanted to teach people how to make money in the stock market, and gave people a sneak peek, kind of let everyone know I was going to launch it. And then launch day happened, and I made $3,000 in one day, which was life-changing because that's what I was making in a month from trading in the stock market. So I don't know, Tanner, what did you think of that when you first saw that? Because I was telling you, hey, maybe you should make a course and teach people how you make money in Amazon.
Yeah, so I've been asked a couple times when I started doing well just by people I knew. I had a guy come put solar on my house, and he's like, what do you do? And he's like, you should make a course. If you make one, like, text me. He gave me his number. I was like, huh, maybe. And then I started writing out a little layout for my course, and I was like, nah, no one's going to buy this. I'm not going to do it. And then these people who can't afford it. So I didn't think anyone would buy it. And then started making YouTube videos with you, and Ryan kind of forced me to start making YouTube videos. I knew I should. I knew the potential, but I didn't feel comfortable doing it. So we made one on his channel when he had about 1,000 subscribers. Gave me some of his subscribers, and they started bombarding me and say, make a course, make a course. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, oh, even if I make like 5,000, 10,000 from it, that'd be awesome. So yeah. I was looking to sell 20 of them, 40 if I was optimistic. And then launch day came, and I did $14,000.
Yeah.
So almost 30 courses.
That was crazy when you told me that. I was like, wow, I cannot believe that. So I was like, Tanner, I'm going to help you promote your course. Give me an affiliate link, and I'll try to promote your course and let people know what you're all about. And yeah, it was amazing. Like now you've done well over, I don't know, you're the highest seller on Teachable for your course. So it's pretty crazy. how far, you know, I didn't even know that courses or like teaching
didn't either.
people, but it all goes back to this one quote, you know, you teach a man to, or you give a man a fish and he eats for a day, you teach a man to fish and he eats for the rest of his life. So kind of that same concept applies, because if you teach people, you know, you give someone some money and say, here you go, here's some grocery money, yeah, they're just going to spend it and they're going to be back in the same place where they were. But if you teach them how to make money online like you are, then, you know, they can do the same and provide for their family. Yeah. So I think it's a great thing that we got into courses, because I remember some of the courses I purchased have helped me. Like, you know, when I shadowed under that hedge fund manager, he had a course. I took that. You know, I took a social media marketing course from Ty. That really helped me. So I'm glad that we kind of got into that space. It's really kind of changed our business.
It's amazing how you can spend $500 on a course when that's what your books cost for school that you might not even need,
right?
And it'll make you way more than that.
And
if you apply it.
That's a good topic too, because look, and it's funny because you go into class and the teacher's like, you know, you need this book, blah blah blah. He just sold everyone in the class, all 40 people, on that book. They're all going to get that book.
Which most likely he wrote.
Yeah, which most likely he wrote. And there's no rebuttal. It's like, you get the book or you fail the class. You know what I mean? This class might not help you in real life, but you need the book. So it's funny that, you know, I remember when I was first purchasing courses, I was so adamant. Like I was scared to spend that money because I'm like, oh, I don't know if it's going to work. But when it comes to school, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll spend money on school, but there's no promise that it's going to work. So it's funny that there's that mind. Why do you think that happens with us, like in our brain, our psychology? Do you
it's
think?
Just what we're used to. I mean, it's the safe way, so I'm spending money safely. Oh, you're taking an online course from a stranger? It's probably a scam.
Yeah.
When in reality, like, all courses, people are like, oh, is this a scam? Is this a scam?
Yeah.
None of it's a scam unless you're just getting no value or no potential from it. It's not a scam unless you get like ripped off.
Yeah.
The content's there. Any course you can make money from. I guarantee you can make your money back on any course you buy if you just do it for a month.
Exactly. And we've seen that from our students. Like, we've seen some of our students make more money than us on some days, which
I've
is
had
crazy.
so many, and they're like, yeah, I'm making like over $10,000 a month for my first product. It's like, what?
Yeah, I just had a student, and he's like, oh, I'm going to land a $10,000 client. I'm like, wow. I mean, I've never even closed a client that big. Another student of mine had a presentation in front of 40 real estate agents. Like, I've never been to a presentation like that. So It's amazing seeing the results of people putting in the work. And that's really what we did. We took a few courses, put in the work, because we knew, like, dude, we don't want to work the 9 to 5. That shit sucks.
Yeah. Well, if other people are doing it, I feel like I can learn and do things better than a lot of people. Right. So why would it not work for me?
Exactly.
If there's other people making money,
yep,
you can make money doing it. You just have to figure out what they're doing.
Exactly. It's funny because that's the same mindset I have. If I see someone has done it, I know it's possible, right? But, you know, there's people who have done stuff that no one's ever done before, and, you know, they did it. So, like, I'm thinking, like, I don't know, like Albert Einstein, people like that, to where they did things that were impossible, you know? So it really comes down to just taking that step and just freaking doing it.
I want to give the example of Ty Lopez right now. So it's like you say, he's doing it. He's made like $20 million from one course.
Oh,
I'm going to say right now, 2 years,
easy.
I'll have more subscribers than him.
Yeah.
Than he has now. About 1 million. And I'll be selling more courses than him.
Yep.
And I think I can do it better.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So. It's all about it's not reinventing the wheel. It's finding a product or a service and just improving it and making it your own, making it better. So you can teach the same thing, but put a different spin on it. That's why I released a social media marketing course, because I saw that there was a lot missing from the course that I bought from Ty, which I loved his course. Great course. I learned so much from it. I couldn't have landed clients without it. But I knew that people would benefit from a course, from my perspective, from building it from the ground up. And that's kind of why I did.
See, my approach is different with the course. The information was pretty similar to what I learned, with a couple things different and things I wanted better. But I knew the people weren't relatable. They were old, they were boring, couldn't get through it.
Yeah.
That's not who's buying a course. People saw me, they trust me, apparently on camera, and just built it from there. Because I saw an opportunity of, they can't relate to him, he's boring.
Yeah.
I'm boring, but you can relate to me, and I give good info,
Mm-hmm.
and it works. Now,
Exactly.
everyone's like, oh, I'm not good at like being on camera and stuff. Have you seen me? Have you seen how I teach? I'm not good at teaching either, but it works. I have the information. It's straight to the point on
Yeah.
what to do and step by step. If
Yeah.
it's relatable, people will like it.
Yeah, and that's what I love about your course. There was absolutely no fluff.
Let's get the mindset right first.
Yeah, it was like textbook. It was just like, do this, like an instruction manual, basically. You provided an instruction manual of how to build a 6-figure Amazon business. So, I mean, that's great. It's great. So, what do you think is, I'm just kind of going through the topics here. Did you ever have a fear of failure? Like, even before you created the course, I remember saying like, hey, Tanner, you should make a course. And you're like, maybe, I don't know, I'm not good in front of camera. Was there a fear of failure there, or was it just...
Not failure, just that I can't speak well.
Okay.
I hated cameras. Like, I could talk to people easily, but when
Yeah.
there's a camera looking at me, it's weird. But now it's not. But
Yeah.
and you feel like you're talking to no one. Like, now I know who's behind the camera. And, like,
Yeah.
subscribers.
Yeah.
But it was weird at first, and still, well, it's not now. But like, I can't vlog in public. I feel that's weird still.
So there's no fear of failure then?
There wasn't when making a course.
Okay. But what about like in general?
In
life?
Amazon, there was.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like a fear of losing money. It was fear of being seen as a failure, which is different for me.
That's...
Because I had $2,000, I knew like if I
Yeah.
go college, $2,000 doesn't matter. If I
Yeah.
lose, I started with like 1,200 of my, I think I had like 1,500 at the time or something. At some point, I had $30 in my bank account, and then it wasn't so much the fear of losing the money. I knew I could get that back,
Yeah.
but it was the fear of not being seen as a failure, but failing.
Yeah.
Fear of failing instead of fear of losing money, which means failing.
Yeah. No, for sure. And maybe even a little, I mean, for me, like, being seen as a failure too, like, that affects you. I mean, we all have ego in us. We all have ego, and I just remember when I was younger and, you know, riding my dirt bike and, like, racing, like, if I fell in the desert with no one watching me, then it was okay. It was like, oh, shit, I fell. Like, I probably look really stupid. But when you fall and there's a bunch of people watching, you know, naturally, psychologically, it's a defense mechanism. We feel like, you know, oh, man, all these people saw me fail. I'm more of a failure than I think I am. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So how can people deal with that? Like, how can people get over that?
You just not tell people about it, but I'm always one that always just tells everyone, like,
Yeah.
oh, this is what I'm doing, like, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's funny, when I started, I'm like, what do you guys like better? Do you like a GTR or a Z06? And they're like, why? I'm like, oh, I started doing this, so I'm going to buy one of these soon.
Yeah.
Before I even made any money.
Yeah, that's
But how to get over that?
Yeah.
I mean, it just takes time. I feel
Takes
like
time.
you just have to do it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you need to, don't tell anyone about it. A lot of people don't. I like to tell people, so then it makes me not fail.
It motivates you to,
Yeah,
to
it's
push
more
harder.
of a, yeah.
Yeah. See, for me, I think I've gotten to the point where I've failed so many times that it's like, whatever, man. I don't care what people think, you know, because I failed a bunch of times. And I think that's a quicker way of doing it. Just start failing. And then you just get used to the feedback and reaction from everyone else.
Oh, we knew this wasn't going to work. I told
Yeah,
you.
right? Your parents or your friends. Oh, well, yeah, I told you that business wasn't going to work. You know what I mean?
It's not that easy. Everyone would be doing it.
Yeah.
Everyone doesn't know about it.
Yeah.
Everyone's not an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So
So
is the reaction. It sounds too easy.
just,
No, not if you. It is easy if you know what you're doing, know how to do it.
yeah.
Hard part's learning what to do.
Yep. So fail fast, because then when you fail and your parents or your friends, you know, reprimand you and they're like, "Oh, I told you so." They're not going to say that to you again when you fail, because it's like, yeah, I told you so. But when you win, it'll be such a accomplishment for you.
But then, of course, being oh, that's not gonna last.
Yeah, right. It's always like, God, man.
Oh, it's something.
There's just like all this negative. Like the one time I do win, it's like, oh well, are you gonna invest that money? Because you might lose it fat. You know what I mean? Like when you bought your Lambo, I'm sure you heard the heat from everyone.
Oh, a Lambo before a house.
Stupid investment.
Should have invested in real estate.
Yeah, you know. But
Little D, they don't know.
exactly. And even if it
Can't
was,
hear you over your McDonald's microphone through the drive-thru.
Exactly. And even if it was a bad investment in their eyes or in your eyes, it's whatever. It's because you wanted to do it, you know? And you only live once. We're only young once. Okay, you're a calculated risk type of guy. You're not going to buy a Lambo and totally put yourself in debt, this and that. You knew that, okay, I'm going to be able to pay for this car. I can sell it if I want to. You know, I could get rid of it in a couple months and just drive it for a few months if I absolutely need the cash. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's already paid for itself. I mean, with my YouTube channel and the personal brand and whatnot.
Yeah, now later down the line, it's paid for itself. It's boosted your personal brand.
You're gonna lose money in that. Like, they break down a lot. They're expensive to maintain. They don't know what I'm talking about. Old ones are. Just because their friend who knows cars told them, because he's built like 3 cars before.
Yeah, and when you look at it, when you look at it in the standpoint of Tanner Fox, why did he purchase the car? Because he wants to drive that car. He's always wanted to drive that car. Exactly. So shouldn't everyone just be okay with that and be like, you know what, I support you, man. Like, good job. I'm glad you reached that goal that you've always wanted since you were a kid. Instead of saying, oh, that's a bad investment. That's you're gonna pay for this later down the road. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Like, that's why that goes into a whole nother topic too, of surrounding yourself with the right people. What can you say about that?
Don't be a YouTuber.
Don't be a YouTuber? Why?
Oh, everyone.
Yeah.
The amount of comments. 99% sure this is a scam.
Yeah.
Go on the channel. Oh, you're 13. Okay.
Oh, come in the. Oh. But I mean, yeah. But like, what about your peers, your friends, your family? Even family. Like, do you? When there's a negative family member or a negative friend that's telling you...
Oh, I just argue back.
You argue back. Okay. All right. So you prove you're like, okay, well, this is what I believe.
And then I just say, watch me.
Okay. Yeah. And that's Tanner's approach. And you can take that approach, which is great. He's very forward. He's like, no, this is what I believe, and this is how I'm doing it.
Fuck you, watch.
Exactly.
Can't hear you over my Lambo now. Sorry.
Exactly. But I mean, my approach. You know, I think I used to have that approach. It just never worked. So for those dealing with, you know, maybe negative family members or negative friends, just people telling you that you can't do something, or even saying, oh, maybe you should just take another route. Like, even telling you to just take another route. You know, for me, I would just not listen. Yeah. Because that's the most crucial thing that's going to, you know, really bring you away from success, is listening to others. You seriously just have to take it into your own hands. Just start doing your own thing.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, I hated, like, because I was into fitness, and I would get, like, lean for, like, summer, and then I would have overweight people be like, oh, when you get older, it doesn't work like that. You're not going to have muscles and be in shape. I'm like, no, there's tons of people that are. I will. I know what I'm doing. They're like, no, it doesn't work like that. And because they're overweight, they don't know what they're doing. Yeah. It's the same thing with this.
Exactly. It's making a decision. I think making a decision is the most important part. I get a lot of students, which is totally fine because I was like that too, but I get a lot of students asking me for almost approval. Like, what do you think about this? Or should I do this? Should I do that? It's like, how about you try it, see if it works or not, and then come back to me and say, hey, I tried this. This is the result I got. Where do you think I should go from here? Right?
Exactly.
Like, I don't know. Just, man, it's just so funny how, like, when you get deep into entrepreneurship, it could be lonely. It could be, that's why I enjoy coming to Tanner's house, because, you know, the rest of the week, I'm literally just by myself doing work, like creating funnels, like doing client work, just a bunch of filming YouTube videos by myself. So it's good to have those 1 or 2 really close friends, family members that really support you, but just know that entrepreneurship's kind of a lonely game. I mean, what's your take on it?
I don't think so.
No?
It depends. It depends.
It depends?
It can be. I never, like, grinded and had to work hard and, like, sacrifice anything. I didn't have much of a social life. So it never got affected. If anything, it helped mine.
Okay.
So mine had the opposite effect because I became more confident. I had things to talk about more with people. And I started talking more, being more confident. And then now, obviously, YouTube, and then the cars attract attention. People talk to you, and friends.
That's true.
But it's done the opposite for me. Because I never had to be like, okay, I gotta be alone and work. I work like 2 or 3 hours a day. So yeah, it increased mine. because maybe for the wrong reasons too. More people want to talk to you,
Yeah.
even though they're not after money, but they like being around you because they feel like, oh, he makes this much, he's hard to reach.
Oh,
like,
yeah. Yeah.
Oh, blah, 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 when in reality, like, that's why people, like, love, like, I answer all my messages. Like, oh my god, you answered. And it's like, yeah, it's not.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. Yeah, I guess maybe because we came from different, like, I was in a fraternity. I went to college and did the whole college party experience. So I was around a lot of dickheads. I was around a lot of idiots that just, I knew I wasn't going to go anywhere being around these people. Like, you know, they're still getting fucked up and getting drunk, you know, but I'm over here, you know, providing value, trying to create new things for people, trying to create new opportunities for people. So I didn't align with those types of people. And maybe because I was around so many types of those people that now I feel like it's more of a lonely game because I'm only around like you and maybe a couple other people, my family and friends and my fiance.
For me, like, high school, it was like only me, didn't really have any friends, and then I just sit inside and play video games the whole time. Rarely would go out, so that's probably why it's different now for me.
For sure.
Because even up to then, and then college changed a little bit, but still, same thing.
Yeah,
so
definitely. Well, we'll wrap it up with one last thing. Tanner, what would you, what advice would you give for someone who's new here to the podcast, new to the channel? What type of advice would you give to them if they're looking to get into entrepreneurship?
Same advice I always give, which you guys have probably heard 1,000 times. Find someone who's living like you want to, so maybe if your goal is passive income, you want to have time, but you want to have the money and have something to grow. Maybe you subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you follow someone and their footsteps of what they're doing, and find something that works. So multiple people making money from it, it works.
Yeah.
You got to figure out how to replicate that and put your own little spin on it. So I did it with YouTube, I did it with Amazon, I did it with affiliate marketing.
Yeah.
Figured out what other people were doing, I had no idea how to do it. Went, tried it, failed a little bit, figure out if you're failing, it's not that it doesn't work, it's you're doing it wrong. Figure out what you're doing wrong. Like I said, with Amazon, failed for 6 months, 3 different products. Figured out what I did wrong, fixed it, and I put my own little spin on it, and it started working.
Nice.
So,
nice.
Find what works, replicate it, put your own spin on it.
I would have to agree 100%. Find what works, replicate it. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. And and find people that you want to be mentored by. Like if you look up to Tanner and I, if we're the ideal of where you want to be, then send us a message because we
don't ask if we'll mentor you though. I got about 12 of those yesterday.
Yeah, well we do paid mentorship, but you know, if you want to send us a message, you just need a little bit of motivation, a little bit of inspiration, like we're gonna get back to you.
Yeah.
But you know, watch our videos. We're gonna have more of these podcasts coming out. We have tons of topics to cover. I mean, this was just kind of a general, like, who we are.
Yeah, a little introduction.
How we got started. Yeah.
Somewhat Amazon, some affiliate marketing, some growing a personal brand in YouTube.
Yep.
So, should they leave us some comments if they're watching this on YouTube on some topics?
Definitely. If you are watching on YouTube, comment down below what you want in our next podcast, maybe some big questions you have. We'll definitely go over those, so comment down below. If you are listening on our podcast, whether it's on SoundCloud or iTunes, we look forward to having you. Make sure to like and share this podcast to your friends, your family, anyone who you think this message would help. And we look forward to the next one. Take care.